Is Magomed Ankalaev that terrible to be a long-time reigning champion? Because I believe that Magomed Ankalaev is gonna win this Saturday. All right, I've already kind of put my faith into that, but I feel a lot of people are either discrediting Magomed Ankalaev or just flat out hate him. All right, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I feel like it's unjustified. So today, we're going to be looking at how truly awful Magomed Ankalaev is as a champion. All right, I'm going to be looking at four factors that kind of make a UFC fighter likable or not. Their fighting style, their activity, their personality on the mic, as well as their general fan base. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. Alright, first off, we're breaking down Uncle Ive's fighting style in terms of enjoyability. Overall, I think it's very matchup dependent. Like Alexander Rakic had an absolute stink fest against Magomed Ankalaev. But Ankalaev can have fun fights here and there, like when he knocked out Johnny Walker in the second round, and when he had a pretty technical back and forth with Nikita Krylov and Volkan Oezdemir. But Magomed Ankalaev's not the most exciting fighter you'll see because Ankalaev's very defense heavy first. If he's on the front foot, he is tending to just barely do enough offensively. So it kind of feels like it's dragging on at times. But Ankalaev, he can get cool knockouts. If he finds the perfect shot in the later rounds, he can potentially put you away. And sometimes he's putting on very technical scraps, which you don't really see often in the light heavyweight division. All right. That kind of leads to sometimes having absolute stinkfest fights, like when he fought Alexander Rakic and Alex Pereira. But if he fights like a scrub like Johnny Walker or like Anthony Smith, or like if he fights someone who's pretty good, like Nikita Krylov, Volkan Oezdemir, that are trying to be aggressive with him, Ankalaev can be fun. So overall, I'd say it's matchup dependent. All right, now up next we got activity. All right, Magomed Ankalaev, he's averaging 2 fights a year. He's had 10 fights since 2021. I don't think that's that bad. All right. Is this like Alex Pereira level activity? No. Is this like Joshua Van level activity? No, but it's rare that fighters have that high level of activity. And honestly, in today's standards, having 2 fights a year as like a relatively top 10 to championship level contender, I think that's pretty good. All right. Most contenders barely fight him even once a year. Just look at Armin Sarukian over here. So I'll take this. If Magomed Ankalaev fights like once every 6 months on average, because that's typically when he fights, all right? Give it like 5 to 8 months. I wouldn't mind this at all. And I think that's actually pretty good. All right. It's a perfect balance of uh fighting too much versus not fighting at all and just creating log jams in the division. All right, now up next we got Magomed Ankalaev's personality. Now, this is one of the biggest criticisms I have against Ankalaev. His entire Twitter account is run by Ali Abdelaziz. I know these guys come out here and talking about, oh, Ankalaev's the one tweeting. Let's be real. That no, it ain't. All right, Ali Abdelaziz is practically running Magomed Ankalaev's Twitter account, but it's pretty funny. Like when he put John Jones's face over a duck. All right, Magomed Ankalaev posts stuff like this from time to time, or should I say Ali Abdelaziz? All right, either way, I do think that these are pretty funny from time to time. And while Ankalaev isn't exactly the biggest star in press conferences, and he doesn't really speak English all that well, so it is very hard to understand him, or the translator will probably butcher it somehow. I think Ankalaev is actively trying to get some sort of engagement during the press conferences, which is pretty good. And also, Ankalaev has a lot of enemies in this division, all right? He's going to talk a lot of shit to Khalil Roundtree, Yuri Prohaska, and especially Alex Pereira come during this press conference. So he has a lot of enemies, so that can create some tension. So overall, all right, I'm going to give Magomed Ankalaev like a 4 out of 10, right? Ankalaev, again, he's not the most interesting fighter, but He is trying to create some sort of hype for the fights, and he does have a lot of enemies, so he can naturally just build it up. Last but not least, we got the Magomed Ankalaev fans. This is my biggest criticism of Ankalaev, all right? And it's not even specifically about Ankalaev, all right? His fans, let's just say most of them are quite literally the most insufferable people you will meet online, right? Like you got Mr. Kenny Okoye over here who's putting Magomed Ankalaev above Max Holloway on his GOAT list. Like, what are we doing here? Like, chill with that. We got Mr. I like every controversial fighter because I'm a contrarian and I just go against the main narrative that most fans put out. MMA Joey like literally praises Magomed Ankalaev as if he's the next coming of Yuri Prohaska. Now we do have some Magomed Ankalaev fans that are pretty funny. You know, Bedtime MMA literally came up with the term "Big Ank." Right? I don't know. It just rolls off the tongue pretty well. It's pretty funny. Like I don't know why it's funny, but to me it just is. So most Ankalaev fans overall insufferable, but you get a couple of Ankalaev fans that are, pretty good memers. So yeah, make no mistake, most of these guys are terrible. So my overall thoughts on Magomed Ankalaev, I'm gonna say his fighting style, 5 out of 10. You know, it's very situation dependent on whether or not it's gonna be a fun fight or not. The best thing I rate about Ankalaev overall though is his activity because although he's not the most active fighter by a long shot, let's be honest, most fighters do not fight more than twice a year, especially if they're like a champion or a top contender. So if he's fighting once every 5 to 8 months, I'll take it. All right. I don't need him to fight more. If he does, then all right, cool. That'd be awesome. But I don't need him to fight more, to be honest. Now, his personality, again, he is trying, but most of it is through Ali Abdelaziz, which is why I'm going to deduct some points for it. And last but not least, his fans, just the worst people you'll meet online. So overall, I'm gonna say Magomed Ankalaev. Is he better than Alex Pereira for fans? No. Is he better than Yuri Prohaska for the fans? No. I would put him similar to Khalil Roundtree, but Khalil Roundtree has, I think, a more entertaining fighting style. Uh, his fans are a lot better, I guess. Overall, though, Magomed Ankalaev, is he the most entertaining fighter on in this division? No, but is he the worst? All right, no, because we can certainly have worse people or fighters that can become the champion of the UFC light heavyweight division. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe so we can get this channel monetized. But yeah, leave a comment down below what you guys think about Magomed Ankalaev because yes, this is my opinion, but I don't know. I feel like I'm being objective as possible with this breakdown. Right? And overall, I don't think he's the worst thing we can have at light heavyweight. All right. Is he the best? No, but there are certainly what worse options. But yeah, leave a comment down below what you guys think. Other than that, though, I will probably see you guys later. Peace.